Great basis for a FSense build. The only downside is that the Wi-Fi card isn't supported by the OS, FreeBSD. I bought one that was supported for around $15, but it's only 802.11n. I couldn't find a 802.11s that's supported by FreeBSD. Please leave a comment if you know of a mini-IPC 802.11a. C. Wi-Fi card that works with FreeBSD. I purchased this machine Qotom-Q355G4 with an i5-5200U processor, 8GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD. This machine replaces a Lenovo ThinkCentre PC running Untangle NG firewall with 1 gigabit per second local network and 2 1 gigabit per second internet connections. This machine is wonderful. It is fast, stable, and the BIOS is super configurable. Untangle firewall installed on this machine with no problems. I imported my old config and I was up and running in under 2 hours. I was worried about heat since this machine is fanless, but my worries were unfounded. This machine has been running for 14 hours continuously processing traffic for 20 devices including continuous security system video feeds to the cloud, and 2 business VPN connections, and the external case temperature has not exceeded 92 degrees Fahrenheit. It runs cooler than the cable modem sitting next. My only complaint about the machine. I want to run the machine headless, without video, keyboard, or mouse, after the initial configuration. I also want the machine to power on and boot after loss of power. The default state for this machine is to wait for the power button to be depressed after loss of power. Usually this can be configured in BIOS, but on this machine, that feature is configured using a jumper on the motherboard. The case is relatively easy to disassemble. You have to remove the SSD hard drive, remove 4 screws holding the motherboard in place, and also remove the spring-loaded screws holding the heatsink to the processor. The heatsink is attached to the processor in typical fashion using 4 screws and thermal paste, but the top of the heatsink is attached to the finned aluminum case using a thermal adhesive, so you have to separate the motherboard and processor from the heatsink. Click the link under this video for more details, reviews and current pricing.